Something very scary is happening with Bitcoin right now. Why is Bitcoin holding up so well? Is it really because everybody wants to stick it to the man, stick it to traditional finance, stick it to the banks, talk to Gary Gensler, we are the winners, we are in for the fight, and that's why Bitcoin is back up again? I don't think so. The price of Bitcoin barely moved, even though there is all this additional uncertainty going on. And when we look at this in the past, right? Here, the Terra Luna collapse, Bitcoin is down 40%. Here, the FTX collapse, Bitcoin is down 26%. Now we don't see any of that. Bitcoin just had a blip and then directly recovered again. Now here's the reason why I think this is happening. It's happening because people are moving their capital from the now very risky altcoins to the less risky perceived Bitcoin. Bitcoin seems to have the blessing by the USA. Nobody blames anybody for allowing to trade in Bitcoin. And with Ethereum, the situation is still somewhat unclear. But Ethereum might also be able to get away with all of it. But when you've got a portfolio of various cryptocurrencies, you've got some altcoins, you've got some Ethereum, you've got some Bitcoin, and now you want to either de-risk the portfolio with all of this uncertainty, or you want to simply just cash out, then what do? You swap into Bitcoin, for example, and store it on a hardware wallet, or you swap it to a stable coin, maybe USDC. And this is actually what we can see in the relative valuation charts. Now, what's a relative valuation chart? It looks at valuations against each other. So we are not looking at, say, Bitcoin in US dollars or at altcoins in US dollars. We are now comparing market caps. So what we see in this chart is total 3. So this is the cryptocurrency market cap except Bitcoin and Ethereum. So everything except Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then we also remove from this the market cap of a stable coin called DAI, the market cap of a stable coin called Tether, and the market cap of USDC. So what we've got here in brackets, this expression is the risky altcoins, that are volatile in price. And we look at the market cap of those altcoins relative to the market cap of Bitcoin. Or in other words, how important is the altcoin market, the risky altcoin market, becoming relative to Bitcoin? Is the altcoin market gaining versus Bitcoin, or is it losing? And this is the chart. And with this whole SEC drama, this went down by 10%. Roughly. Rarely have we been that bearish on altcoins. Rarely have we seen that little allocation to altcoins. So the overall crypto market is shrinking. People are cashing out. They're moving their funds to Bitcoin to either store it in a cold wallet. So this is what some people say, right? Some people say when there's a real bear market, more Bitcoin maximalists are born. This is one effect that we can see. We can also see this in relation to Ethereum. So let's look at the same expression, this time relative to Ethereum. And this is also crashing down. It's almost at an all-time low. Another very similar kind of chart. This is how much of all of those risky altcoins do we have relative to the entire crypto market cap. And then we've got the other side of the coin. How much money is now in those stable coins? So when we now take, say, DAI, Tether, and USDC, and we put this in relation to all of crypto, there should be now more money in those, right? Because those particular stable coins help you to potentially cash out. Or for DAI, you would swap it then afterwards to Ethereum. We would expect this to go up with all of this FUD, and this is exactly what we are seeing. More and more money is in those stable coins, and as a whole, the crypto market is shrinking. So Bitcoin holding up well here is not necessarily an expression of people being really bullish and they think that the SEC will not be able to win this fight. It's rather the opposite. People just want to get out. People don't want to be in DeFi anymore. People don't want to be in crypto anymore altogether. And this increases the stablecoin rate. It increases the relative valuation of Bitcoin and Ethereum to the rest of the altcoin market. And so I don't have a crystal ball either, right? I don't know where this whole thing is going, but I do have an impression there is now quite a lot of optimism both in the crypto market as well as in traditional finance actually. There is some correlation between the Nasdaq, for example, the tech stocks, and Bitcoin, right? We've seen this all the time. When the Nasdaq is crashing, Bitcoin tends to follow as well, and vice versa. When Nasdaq is going up, when Tesla is going up, Bitcoin is doing nicely as well. And the Nasdaq, it's actually at a pretty high valuation if you ask me. As said, I don't have a crystal ball, I don't know the future. But simply just look at this. This is the Nasdaq in the last years. And how much is it down from its all-time high when all of this monetary tightening started? Only 12%. But is this really a situation where we are almost, fundamentally speaking, at a position that's close to the best that we've ever seen? I think probably not, right? There is still zero demand for property. The interest rates are very high. Nobody is buying houses. This will reduce how fast property can rise in prices. Property might even go down. This can then in turn cause a whole spillover effect to traditional finance, to stocks. We've seen this during the global financial crisis. This is when Bitcoin was actually born. So we've got a huge risk factor over there. We still don't yet see the Fed going down with interest rates. The inflation rates aren't yet, at least in terms of official measurements, at a point where the Fed would see it justified to expand the monetary supply again. At the same time, we see this chart, a price that's almost at all-time highs. This screams overvaluation to me. But I don't have a crystal ball, right? And you can be not short for as long as the market can be irrational. So I wouldn't bet on falling prices here, even though the Nasdaq seems to be expensive. I don't see myself having an edge in the traditional market. There are so many professional traders in stocks, in currencies, in commodities. There are people that do this 24/7 that have billion-dollar institutions behind them, hedge funds and banks. I don't think I can beat that market. And if the market now says the Nasdaq needs to be at that level, so be it. But still, I think there's definitely no bargain prices here. And if the Nasdaq goes down, then Bitcoin is likely going to, due to correlation, follow suit to a degree. Couple this together with the crypto market shrinking, Bitcoin still holding up because of the altcoin money flowing into Bitcoin. It's all relatively scary. I still have exposure to crypto, I still have exposure to Bitcoin, but I am watching very, very closely. If we are going to turn around in the next weeks, I might very much de-risk as well. In my opinion, there's way more potential for going south from here than going further up. I don't really see the narrative that could spur another bull run from here. There is maximum fear, that's true, but the market is already reacting to that fear, and that fear is mainly related to DeFi and to altcoins, not to Bitcoin. And so Bitcoin might not be that cheap. But let's see how this plays out. If we can stay high, if we simply keep on with positive momentum, and at the same time the Fed actually decides to lower interest rates, then we definitely have to reevaluate. But don't be overly optimistic. Don't put all your hard-earned cash, all your eggs into one single basket. This can potentially turn out pretty poorly. Be diversified across different asset classes, and especially don't take on more leverage than you can digest.